I'm disappointed. I've been making videos for a while now, and I have not gotten cancelled or even into any drama a single time. So instead of waiting for the drama to come to me, I shall come to it. Since this is my first time, let's start with a real spicy topic. A topic that's sure to draw in all the viewers. Oh, I don't know, how about my semantic disagreement with Yi over the existence of the category known as boss killers within Arknights. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. So this video is kind of a response to Yi's video, Boss Killers Don't Exist. I say kind of because I've been looking for an excuse to talk about how weird categories and genres are ever since my VN video. I assumed no one would want to watch that, so this proved as a very convenient way to attach my weird obsession to Arknights. So all jokes aside, I have no real issues with Yi. As I'll talk about later, I actually agree with most of his video and I've enjoyed many of his other videos. He also uploads a lot more consistently than me. So while you're watching his video on the topic, something that I encourage you to do before finishing mine, then you should hit that red little button of happiness over there. Let's start off by taking a look at how and why Yi arrived at the conclusion that boss killers simply don't exist within Arknights. First, he notes that boss killers are defined as units that deal a lot of damage within a small window of time. Next, he points out that things like buffs, debuffs, and enemy variety play a huge part in determining the best possible operators for defeating a boss. Specifically, Yi brings up the issue of Exusii. She's a unit that is often seen as having low or even inconsistent damage, but can become a drastically better unit when certain factors are added to the equation. So the conclusion that Yi comes to is that boss killers don't really exist within Arknights, and that players should really think for themselves instead of religiously following tier lists and guides in order to defeat difficult stages. Now I actually agree with almost everything I just outlined. I especially agree with what I assume was really the main argument of the video, that being, if you want to actually get better at Arknights, you can't just follow what the community says blindly. Except me, of course. Since Arknights is a pretty consistently difficult game, guides and tier lists will naturally follow. But when the community is so focused on only that type of content, it's really easy for labels such as best unit in the game to not really paint the full picture. And sometimes it can even trick players into thinking they have to roll for units they really don't. All that being said, boss killers still absolutely exist in Arknights, just as they do in any game with any boss. De jamais explicar. Language is weird, like really weird, and English is no exception. I mean, buffalo, 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 buffalo is a grammatically correct sentence, but this is nowhere more evident than in the case of categories, such as genres or classes. If you zoom out on any category from afar, it seems to make perfect sense. Visual novels are just novels with a visual component. However, when you zoom in and actually try to rigidly define any of the rules for a category, everything comes tumbling down. For example, Lord of the Rings is a novel, so are the films not just novels with a visual component? That's obviously an extreme example. I'm not actually trying to say that the Lord of the Ring movies are visual novels, but my point remains the same. Any category falls into this weird gray area that makes no sense if you look at it for long enough. Is Dark Souls a Metroidvania? Is Hollow Knight a Souls-like? Is a tank still a tank if it's dealing more damage than my dumbass? And to bring us all the way home, is Exusii still a boss killer if she can only kill low armor bosses while under the influence of buffs? All of this can be overwhelming and frustrating, and so I understand the temptation to say that a category just doesn't exist. Because they kind of don't. They don't have any real basis in reality, and they evolve and adapt with society, so it can be impossible to pin one down. There's a line in Yi's video that displays perfectly my point.
Saying, oh, X who is only a boss killer in such and such scenario ruins the purpose of the term boss killer, so you can't do that.
My response to Yi's question here, and a TLDR for the whole video, is Chad yes. Who are the boss killers in Arknights? Is Exu still a boss killer? Is Cruz a boss killer? No, but aside from that last one, I don't have all the answers. Who fits into any given category is something that is up for constant debate, and as games are patched and metas evolve, so will the categories. But boss killers will always exist, as long as Arknights keeps making bosses to kill.